Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to morning briefing on Aspheric TV. I am Dayo Olujuwon Ekuni. Good morning, Uncle Mustila.
Good morning, Dayo.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was okay, and yours?
Fine.
Okay.
Well, let's go straight to top happenings making headlines on front pages of Nigerian newspaper. The Sun. Buhari greets Onyeka Owenu at 70. Defamation. JAMB official drags Abuja radio presenter to court. Zamfara cancelled trip. PDP saying Buhari should have gone by road mischievous. President says presidency. Insecurity. Peace will return to all affected communities soon, says Osibajo. Now, Nigerian Tribune. 45.85 million bank account here to be linked to BVN 7 years after Reps member alleges. Judiciary budget, NJC under pressure. The incapability of money to cure poverty. Well, the 10-star live message. Reps member presents 7 million naira take-off grants to health centers, special schools in Bauchi. Presidency to PDP. Stop being mischievous over Buhari's aborted trip to Zamfara. The Vanguard. NDLEA DSS hand over suspected internet fraudster to EFCC. Tiwa Savage sex tape answers others stop Nigeria's Google trends in October. It's for Nigerians. Southwest PDP celebrates appeal court's judgment against seconders. 2023 North list criteria for presidential candidates. PDP to hold convention as appeal court quashes seconders application. PDP convention. We are working towards consensus candidates, says governors. Leadership newspaper. Despite oil prices above $40 benchmark in 2021, federal government states deplete excess crude accounts by $37 million. Pressure mounts on APC to throw party chairmanship race open. Igbo presidency will settle Biafra agitation. Owu Bonwa. Deputy Governor KDSG is passionate about human capital development. 11 killed, others injured in southern Kaduna attack. 11 killed, others injured in southern Kaduna attack. This day newspaper. House Ministry of Youth disagree over establishment of NYDC. Oyetola visits Osun Monarch, discloses intention to run for second term. Robbers attack bullion van, cut away undisclosed amount in Delta. NALDA Abia, that's Nalda's Abia, Imo Farm Estate set for inauguration as 400 youths, women eye employment. The sports DJ of Akure Oba Adepoju dies in Abuja. Theft in Arik's aircraft, act of insider sabotage. But that's all on top happenings. That's the top happenings on front pages of Nigeria's national newspaper. Right now we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get to discuss on our news updates. Welcome from that short break. The National Assembly has raised election costs for presidential candidates from 1 billion naira to 5 billion naira. Well, according to reports, the National Assembly made the provision in the revised Electoral Act Amendment Bill passed by the lawmakers last week. In the revised electoral bill, which will be sent to Buhari for assent, presidential candidates have the chance to spend up to 5 billion naira as election expenses. Also, governorship candidates can now spend 1 billion naira as election costs against 200 million naira, which was the former amount pegged by the National Assembly. Well, the National Assembly also raised the election cost for senatorial candidates from 40 million naira to 100 million naira, while House of Representatives candidates increased the expenses from 20 million naira to 70 million naira. For chairmanship candidates, the maximum amount of election expenses to be incurred by a candidate shall not exceed 30 million naira, while councillorship candidates can now spend 5 million naira as election cost. Is it that they are trying to scare away
No,
people with aspiration?
It's not about the law. It's about the enforcement. Have you ever seen, since the emergence of democracy in 1990 till now, have you ever seen somewhere to say, okay, we are proving so candidates based on the amount of money he spent during the election? How did he get it? Have you seen it?
No.
So it shows that we lack the monitoring and supervision framework to monitor it.
Check and balance.
So you understand? It's not. I think it's INEC that's supposed to oversee everything relating to elections in Nigeria, including how much a candidate or a party spent in campaigning.
Mm-hmm.
So how would INEC even do that monitoring? How do they check it? How do they do the verification to say, okay, you are spending within the law and not outside the law? So I don't know whether you understand what I'm talking about. So Mr. A could spend over 5 billion stipulated. At the end of the day, who would supervise the spending, let alone the prosecution? So that is the case. So to me, making a law that we know is difficult for enforcement, we shouldn't even make the law. You understand? For instance, you have in France, former President Nicolas Sarkozy. He was sentenced based on something relating to this, that he spent above the constitutionally mandated money to spend. How did he get that about the money? He said his friends raised the money. Whether your friends raised the money, they have raised amount of money which is above the stipulated amount. So, but in our own case here, a particular party or a particular candidate can ferry people who are away from here to offshore, hold meeting with them, bring them back again, campaign, fleet of cars, not just cars, but exotic cars. So you understand? So these are part of the process. The corruption we are talking about is start from our electoral processes. You understand? So unless we have a proper framework, institution to say, okay, we are monitoring this, how much money was spent during a campaign, how did you get about the money? Unless we have that, otherwise, making the law alone is not enough. To me, I would suggest if INEC will have a special branch, that by law, that special branch eventually will evolve to become an independent body on its own to monitor campaign funding and prosecute the offenders. Otherwise, the way we have what we have now, it's not gonna work. It's not by law alone; it's by enforcement.
Okay. Well, the presidency on Sunday lambasted the opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP) for allegedly exhibiting lack of understanding of presidential movement scheduled despite its 16-year run of the federal government. The presidency was reaching to the PDP's criticism of President Muhammadu Buhari's inability to keep dates with a scheduled visit to Zamfara State last week Thursday owing to bad weather. The PDP had made an issue out of the cancellation of the Zamfara visit despite the explanation by the presidency why it was not practicable, suggesting that the president chickened out for security reasons, adding that he could have traveled by road to meet up with the visit. However, in a statement by senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, in Abuja on Sunday, the President lamented the trivialization of the role of opposition politicking by the PDP, noting that its criticism on Zamfara cancelled visit was either born out of mischief or ignorance. They expected the President to travel by road.
See, the whole thing is somehow laughable, because we have serious problems around. Nigerians are generally not happy. We are talking about inflation. We are talking about the insecurity itself. Then the APC and PDP are capitalizing on mundane issues. You understand? If the president decided to say, okay, I'm visiting Zamfara, and at the tweet light decide to cancel the trip, citing what? Bad weather. Well, both APC and the PDP, they are right. Do you know why I say they are right?
Why?
PDP is the main opposition today. So if the president cough and he didn't cough properly, is the responsibility of the PDP as an opposition to correct him and as well scold him. You understand? APC too, they are right, because according to people, they say that him where they wear shoes, now he know where they pitch them. Is that not so?
Yeah.
Is that not the normal street language? So APC as a ruling party and the presidency, some informations are available to them that is not available to the general public, especially concerning the president's trip. If they decide to give the excuse to say, okay, the president could not visit Zamfara due to changes in weather, Nigerians should just take it. You understand? Because weather is not something that somebody will play with it. You understand?
Yeah.
So both the APC and PDP, both of them, they are right. You understand? But where some of us are not too happy with this is the manner of the politicking. We seem to attach politics to almost everything. You understand? If Garba Shehu will speak, it's as if they are at war with some people. Likewise, PDP, they wouldn't like to see any element of good in the presidency. It shows as if there is some desperation to say, okay, we will, let's fight these people so that we'll come in. And them too, they are like, let's fight these people so that we'll sustain the power. At the detriment of our own well-being. You understand? There are serious issues on ground that both the government and the opposition are supposed to dwell on.
But they are neglecting.
They are pushing that aside and elevating politics, which is to us our own detriment as Nigerians. They should play less of politics and think more of national. What will bind us together? You
said they should what?
They should play less of politics.
Now,
and even if they play the politics, they should know the limit.
Politics? Politics, does it push away the national interest?
See,
does it push away Nigeria interest? Does it push away the well-being of Nigeria?
Well, the fact is that politics itself is an avenue to form a government, not just form a government alone, with the responsibility of meeting the needs of
of the people,
the citizens
of the people.
Yes. So, but in our own case here, the politics here is more or less of a platform to access power. You understand?
Okay.
To access power at the detriment of Nigerians, because we are not feeling the impact of the government. That is why we are saying that, look, they should play less of the politics. You understand?
Nigerian kind of politics.
Nigerian kind of politics. They should play less of it and think of more of national interest. If wherever they speak, you could see that there's no element of patriotism in what they are doing. And if they are not patriotic, how do you expect the followers to be patriotic? You understand? That is why some of us are of the opinion that, look, Nigeria's problem is from top down, not from down up. If our leaders could lead right, we the followers will follow well. They should play less of politics. If president decided to say, okay, I'm not going to I did not go to Zamfara because of bad weather, they should take it. Nigerians should just take it, because weather is something that nobody can play with it. You understand? Flight cannot take place if there is bad weather, if there is haze weather. Yeah, come on, it's are we going to start putting the entire nation in crisis because of the bad weather?
I mean,
it's
they're also expecting the president to go by road, despite insecurity. It's our president. He has the right to get protected.
To get protected.
Yes, he has See, I mean, it's like it's looking as if
to some extent they are right. You understand? For instance, like I think in Denmark, when the president wanted to vie for re-election, do you know what he did? He disguised himself. Boycotted his security details.
Yeah.
Took a bicycle and rode to the neighborhood, to the streets, seeking people's opinion in the evening, you understand, about his government. You understand? So through that he could form an informed opinion regarding the direction of his government. So if our own president can say, okay, the distance between Sokoto and Zamfara is it's about 100 kilometers or less than that. You understand? So if he can do that, but for what? You understand? He's quite okay. He's the commander in chief.
Yeah.
He gets all the information that he needs through his service chiefs, and the service chiefs, they get all the information that they need from their field commanders. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's not only when the president embark on road trip before he could get that kind of information that he need. I know PDP are saying that, look, he should have gone to Zamfara by road, so that maybe if he's not too lucky, the convoy will not run into bandits, and he could see what other
Nigerians are yes.
seeing. So to me, it's not all this is not what Nigerians want.
I don't think it's necessary.
It's not necessary. What we want is hunt. If it is insecurity, like PDP is saying, let the president sit up and hunt these bandits hands down, so that Nigeria could travel freely without fear of being attacked. You understand? Even if it is bad weather, just for a few moments, you understand, he could still reschedule the trip and still make it.
Of course.
You understand? So no time for all these mundane issues, non-irrelevant issues.
It looks cat and rats.
It looks as if kids playing.
Well, former governor of Niger State, Babangida Aliyu, has reviewed why the Goodluck Jonathan administration failed to win the war against insurgency. In an interview with The Punch, Aliyu alleged that some northern politicians frustrated Jonathan's efforts in curbing the activities of Boko Haram and defeating them. He stressed that many northerners misconstrued Jonathan's position on Boko Haram for political purposes and made it impossible for the proper implementation of policies that will defeat the insurgents. The PDP chieftain argued that banditry was impossible during the Jonathan era, adding that banditry started during the Muhammad Buhari government and has escalated in recent times. Aliyu, however, slammed the northern governors for failing to implement policies that would have defeated banditry. And this is coming from the opposition party.
It's coming from the opposition, not just an opposition, but someone. He himself is a northern and two. He's former governor of Niger State. So Mazu Babangida Aliyu. So saying so, well, he just buttressed what people have been saying all along. That look, the northern leaders then didn't do enough to support the government in the fight against Boko Haram. You understand? So it's very clear. It's obvious. It's not something that we will even discuss it. We are all in Nigeria here. Then some of us forewarned that look, this thing is not ideal. At a particular point in North here, the then President Jonathan was called all sort of names. You understand? To some extent, they even referred to the Boko Haram then as brainchild of Goodluck Jonathan. You understand? Instead of supporting whatever the government is doing towards hunting down these bad guys. You understand? That is what transpired. And that is exactly what Mazu Babangida Aliyu is saying now. You understand? Leaders is still what we are talking about here. We should know what is national interest and should have limit to how we play politics. You understand? Because when we continue on this path, at the end of the day, we end up without Nigeria. God forbid. We should remember that Nigeria is the umbrella that covers everybody. We should remember that without equity, fairness, justice, we won't have Nigeria. You play politics with insecurity instead of supporting the government to hunt it down. You can imagine between 2015, or let's say from 2015 till now, how many persons Boko Haram have killed? How many are now in IDP camps? Till this very moment, some Nigerians are in Cameroon as refugees. Some are in Niger. Some are in Chad. You understand? People that hitherto they were doing very well, today they have nothing. So, if Boko Haram had been defeated, let's assume that in 2013, 2014, today, would those people be where they are today? Some of them will still be doing very well, even those ones that died. So, what we are saying is that everything is not politics. You understand? Take for instance, like an advanced country like US. Yes, at times they play the kind of politics we play here too. In fact, during Trump, the politics about America was so tense. It's as if what we are doing here. But when it comes to national interest, they know that this is national interest. You understand? Like passing of a crucial budget so that the government will not shut down. You understand? You know them, they practice federalism like us here. Yeah. But their own federalism is such in a way that federal government can, without passing a budget, the federal government can come into total grounding. So when it comes to that, both the Democrat and the Republican, they'll have a kind of a bipartisan bill to support the federal government so that the federal government can still go ahead. But in our own case here, it's like everything, we see everything politics of bitterness. You understand?
Politics of bitterness.
The other side he talked about, he said there was no banditry during Jonathan and
started in Mohammed.
These things is like it's an incremental problem. You understand? When it's like when you have a child today, and your child decides to say, "Mommy, you are a liar," and you refuse to correct him. To say, "Okay, don't tell your elder you are a liar." Frame it in a proper perspective how we can make that correction. Tomorrow, if you don't do it,
call you a thief.
But he will call you a thief. Next time in the public, he will say, "Mommy, you are this."
I won't slap the mother.
So that is the processes. You understand? This banditry didn't start today. The seed of discord regarding what the banditry is today doing has been laid. You understand? Don't forget that, look, there is element of poverty. There is element of idleness. You understand? When you have idle-minded people that are not doing anything, there is every possibility that tomorrow they will become something else. It's like planting an anarchy waiting to happen. You understand? According to some white papers regarding this banditry, it's been linked to climate change, desertification across far north, where they had a lush green vegetation. Due to desert encroachment, those vegetation are no more there. So the Fulani herders are forced to relocate down. And during the process of relocating down, some of them lost their animals. Some of them became thieves, from thievery to banditry. So this thing doesn't happen within a day. The processes have been laid. They are there. So the only part that I've seen that President Mahmoud Buhari has not really done very well is the part of him still insisting on grazing reserve and cattle routes. Come on, we are talking about cattle route and the grazing reserve of 1950, 1940. You still want to bring it to 21st century as a solution? No, it's not going to work. Then, what was Nigeria's population then? Our population was less than 40 million or thereabout. And today we're talking about 200 million. And you still want to revamp cattle route and grazing reserve. Who would abandon his own farm for cattle route? So that is the only side I've seen that, look, President Muhammadu Buhari did not try. He's not looking at it from a problem that he was supposed to solve. Instead of solving the problem, he's creating further problem. He's not even seeing the banditry as problem as such. Yes, he's not seeing it as such. Until the bandit invaded the NDA and shot down the military jet, he didn't do anything. You understand? So, Maz Babangida Aliyu is right, and as well as wrong. It's right because northern leaders refused to support Goodluck Jonathan to hunt down Boko Haram when their voices was needed. It's wrong because he said the bandits were not there under. Yes, they were not there under Jonathan, but the processes were already there.
Okay. Well, Vice President Oshibajo has said that the ruling All Progressives Congress APC would remain committed to the welfare of the average Nigerian. Oshibajo made this submission when he played host to a delegation of the APC Professionals Forum at the State House Abuja on Friday. In a statement by spokesman Laolua Conde, the vice president added that the ruling party will continue to serve the people and give them reasons to believe in a better country. Oshibajo further stated that the APC is determined to ensure the country's further growth and development, saying that the party will meet the hopes and expectations of millions of Nigerians. You as Nigerian, so far so good. Have they been able to meet any hope or expectations? I mean, it's going to be next year. Is going to be 2023.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still saying that the party will continue to serve the people and give them reasons to believe in a better country. You ask a layman now, as the government, president administration been able to give Nigerians reason to believe in a better country? I mean, what do you think they will say? We have a lot of youths traveling out of the country or praying and fasting to get out of the country.
Aside reports here and there by World Bank, IMF, and some other international agencies regarding the condition Nigerians have found themselves. At least we people on the street, even the people living in urban centers, they are feeling the heat. Although Rome was not built in a day, at least what is the indicators is saying is that from 2015 to 20 from 2015 to 2019, over 20 million Nigerians have slided into multi-dimensional poverty. In economics, there are grades level by level of poverty. When poverty has become multi-dimensional, it means it encompasses other problems. The issue of being able to eat is there. Some other part of it is what we are dealing with today: insecurity, other things, other social problem, economic problem, security problem, all now gather to become multi-dimensional poverty. So, what the report is saying, 20 million Nigerians have slided into multi-dimensional poverty. So, yet Professor Osibajo is telling us that, look,
they'll give us reasons, more reasons.
more reasons that the party is out to meet the aspiration of Nigerians, welfare of Nigerians, blah, blah, blah. But these are political talk. You understand? If he let's, as a vice president, he can embark on a trip to say, okay, let me go to the market, forget my security details, forget all these things, let me go and stand before Nigeria and ask them frank talk. Not the RNG town hall meeting. Ask them to say, okay, how do you feel about our government? They will tell him to his face that, look, you are failure. Understand? First of all, they will start to say, okay, what matters to a Nigerian, an average Nigerian, is what to eat first. You understand? A bag of rice, 25 kg of rice that was between 7 to 9,000. Today is about 30,000. 30,000. So you understand? So Nigerians are not being able to feed well.
You're saying something about Rome was not built in a day, but it was not written that Rome had a back and forth experience. It was not built in a day. I mean,
so like
you
see why I say so. Nigerians, although we are not expecting too much from APC, if APC is saying that we have done something tangible, at least Rome wasn't built in a day.
It wasn't, but it didn't go back and forth.
There are indices to say, okay, this is where they are heading to before they became what they are. So in our own case, like you said, okay, someone that had 2 shirts suddenly is not left with 1 shirt. Someone that had sandal is not left with only a slippers. Someone that could feed 3 times in a day before he can only now eat only once in a day. So he first of all ask himself, is there hope for tomorrow? Is there hope for tomorrow? So if the VP of Osibajo will now say, okay, we are committed to meeting the welfare of Nigerians, we are like this, we are like that, we are like, all these are gimmick, just mere talk. You understand? For the past 6 years, they have not been able to live to expectation of Nigerians. If there is any way that Nigerians could have how do I call it? Vote of confidence, a process whereby they'll pass a vote of confidence or no confidence on them, they will see it. But sadly, we don't have a midterm election whereby we would have that.
Well, Igbo Social Cultural Organization Ohanaeze Ndigbo has berated desperate politicians from the north making moves to retain power after the tenure of President Muhammadu Buhari in 2023. In a statement signed by Mazi Okechukwu Isigozuru, its Secretary General, Ohanaeze warned that such moves by these politicians will sink the country. The group berated those working against the gentleman pact of the rotational presidency between the North and South in 2023. They urged the North to voluntarily hand over power to the South for the interest of peace and stability, except if they have decided to set the nation ablaze and sink it. I mean, we keep going over and over again concerning this matter. It's politics.
Yeah. You see, without equity, there is bound to be anarchy. Understand? At least, Buhari is from the north. He has served the eight years a term.
It's to tenure.
It's two tenure. So, for equity to be there, at least the power should rotate to south. You understand? But did Buhari got the mandate on the platter of gold? No. You understand? At least he contested with some other persons. Those ones who are from the south. So it's not like there is a gentleman agreement to say, okay, if we rule, the power should shift to you. No, there's nothing like that. So the Organize Indigo, to me, my own candid opinion is that they should go back to their in-house sensitization and galvanize themselves first.
Mm-hmm.
At least they should pencil down at least one or two candidates to say, okay, we as Igbo, we as people of Southeast, we are supporting these two candidates instead of dividing their vote here and there. You understand? If you look within the APC, more than what is the name? Former Governor Ojizo Kalu is going, Okorocha is going, some other persons too. David Umeyi of Ebonyi he's going, he's running. Almost about 5 of them, they are there. If you go to PDP, they are there too. They should show to Nigerians that, look, we are serious about this and we want to get it. Only one person, 2 persons from the 2 parties, from the 2 dominant party, one from APC, one from PDP. Then the people will now see their seriousness. Then they should begin the process of networking, talking to some other zones. It's about lobbying. You lobby for people to support you, not on basis on the blackmail. You understand? If they are waiting to say, okay, not leave this in for us, this is politics. They will not leave. You understand? Even in 99, when it was zoned to south, we had people like Abubakar Rimi that contested against Obasanjo. So that is it. So the Igbos, they should forget about this being paranoid that, look, we are Igbo, people hate us. No. They are one of the major dominant group in Nigeria. You understand? Even if it is zoned to the south, you discover that Southwest too would like to say that it's we will produce. You understand? They should learn to dialogue with and negotiate with other regions. Nobody will just hand over to say, okay, we are not contesting and just go back. No, nobody will do that. You understand? We want equity, but as people too, they should come out to say, okay, harmonize their own interests within themselves. To say, okay, what is wrong if they even feel only one person? To say, this is what the person that we want, and they should speak with one voice. Not that they are talking about coming to us. It should be us. Then some of their own people from the south is to their spokesperson to some other persons to from the north. I don't know whether you get what I'm talking about. You are saying we want this thing, give us this thing, whereas your own is spokesperson to the person that the people you are complaining about. It doesn't show seriousness. It doesn't show seriousness. Let's be frank to ourselves. They shouldn't expect this ticket to be given to them on the platter of gold to say, okay, take. No. That is not democracy. Democracy is about openness.
Well, Governor Bala Muhammad of Bauchi State has said he told former Vice President Atiku Abubakar not to contest the 2023 presidential race. That Muhammad made the submission on Friday when a contact and consolation committee is set up for his presidential ambition submitted its report to him. Well, the Bauchi governor said Atiku is too old and tired to lead the country. Of course, we don't have just one person that is really too old in our face and tired in our face trying to contest for 2023 presidential election. I mean, it's not just
it's
not just one person.
I just see confusion everywhere. From the southeast that say not should not this thing. Bala Mohammed, who is governor, first time governor in Bauchi, he's saying this one should not go. Some other person they will say Tinubu will not. This thing, the confusion is too much.
I mean, even if we have young people, I don't know if is Yaga still clamoring. Yaya Bello.
Yeah, you see there.
So
don't forget that we have 1,000 clerics that just came out to say they are praying for and fasting for him. You understand?
So it's not just, I don't think it's about the age right now.
It's not about the age.
Because we can have young people coming out to say they want to become president and they have nothing to offer. So it's about what do you have to offer. But we don't want a president that will become our president today and tomorrow God takes him home.
God takes, apart from that, we have a president today. 4 months is in a foreign hospital. So we should avoid that kind of situation. So a situation whereby, we're not trying to to demonize old age. We're not demonizing old age. But what we're saying is that being agile is still part of the process. There's no way you compare someone that is less than 60 and someone that is above 70. You understand? Someone that is less than 60 is still active. Someone that is above 70, you should know that at least it's
a goodbye.
It's already depreciating in health.
It's got a goodbye.
So that is it. So at least our experiences from President Muhammadu Buhari should have taught us lesson by now. But sadly, politicians doesn't reason like that. What matters to politicians is selfish interest, and they don't see beyond the prism of what their psychopaths are telling them. So if Bala Mohammed is telling Atiku that, look,
he's too old and tired.
You are too old and tired. Go and rest. It's funny, but not funny. So you understand? It's funny. Invariably, it's not even referring to only Atiku. Because it's not only Atiku that is between that age. Atiku is over 70, going to 75 or thereabout. So there are other persons too that are like that. Tinubu is, although Tinubu is claiming 69. 69. But if you look at him very well,
it doesn't look.
It's our own kind of side talk, not normal TV talk. You understand? So we should, in fact, we should be serious. We should be serious. We should try and get it right in 2023. You understand? We have somebody like Rotimi Amechi, although he has not publicly stated his mind. But we are already seeing the signs here and there that he's going.
And of course, he has been working.
He has been working. No, if you are talking about APC, if you are talking about APC to say, okay, APC want continuity, at least one of the ministers that have so far proved their worth is Amechi.
You
understand? We have the Lagos Ibadan rail, standard gauge rail, which was a complete virgin forest being tear apart and the tracks being laid, and today the trains are running. So you understand there are some other reformation in terms of railway revolution that is presently ongoing. So if we are talking about APC if APC is indeed serious to say, okay, we want a performer, we want someone with achievement that is provable. They should go for somebody like Amechi. You understand? Not somebody like Tinubu in Lagos. You understand? So, but politicians, they have their own ways of doing things. They don't reason like the way you and I reason.
Okay, 4 Chibok girls have been released from the captivity of the Islamic State West Africa province ISWAP fighters. Well, recall that the girls were part of the victims kidnapped during an invasion of what's the name? Kautikari village of Chibok local government area in Borno State on Friday, January 14. Well, it was learned that the girls were taken to Delhi village, which shares a border with Sambisa forest, before they were released on Sunday afternoon. Confirming the development, a resident of the town said that the girls regained their freedom on Sunday. Well, trying to cut the story short, we're grateful to God for the release of the Chibok girls. So we see how
7 good years in captivity. Some of them they must have ended up as mothers, and because just imagine the horrible situation, the horrible experiences they passed through. Well, another thing is that part of the Chibok girls on Friday, they just did matriculated at Nigeria, this America University in Yola. They just matriculated. Those ones, at least they are fortunate. You understand? What you can imagine? No. This insecurity has caused this country a lot of setback. You understand? Widows, orphans. No.
We have a lot of things happening in politics. We have a lot of things happening in the area of security. Economy in Nigeria.
The situation is heartbreaking, but
yes,
we just have to keep faith.
We just have to keep faith
and be
strong, and also pray that our governments walk in wisdom and puts Nigerians first. Thank you all for staying with us on the morning briefing at Spheric TV. I am Dayo Olujunwekuni. Thank you, Uncle Musti. That's Mr. Mustafa Abdul Malik. Please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to share to families and friends. And don't forget to click on the notification button to get notified on upcoming events unfolding. And also don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles: Facebook at Aspheric News, Instagram at aspheric.news, and Twitter at Aspheric News. Thank you all and have a wonderful day.